Hey guys, Roman Reaper here, just back with a quick little review. So I just got done watching Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio on Netflix. This is a stop motion animated version of the Pinocchio story, and this has been a long time passion project of del Toro's. This has been something he's wanted to make for 14 years, and I believe only in 2018 it got the green light at Netflix. And I think it was around that point I found out about this thing's existence, and yeah, I was hyped. I love stop motion. I love Guillermo del Toro. What could go wrong here? But was the film worth the 14-year wait and my anticipation? Let's find out. So Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, you know what it is from the title. It is Guillermo del Toro's version of the Pinocchio story. The wooden boy who magically is brought to life, whose nose grows whenever he tells lies. And this is a telling of the story which is tied into the rise to power of one Benito Mussolini. Alright, I'm gonna be frank here. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this, but I was just beaming after watching this film. I absolutely loved it. It was just a delight, a 2-hour handcrafted delight. It is absolutely one of the best films of the year. Like just from the animation alone, this is probably one of the best looking animated, if not the best looking animated film of the year. Every frame of this film is absolutely gorgeous to look at, and within each frame you can see a real love, a real passion, and a real craft behind it. Every frame feels so handmade that there's little imperfections to the textures of backgrounds, and there's little details like, well, anytime a fire is lit, little embers fly up, and there's raindrops setting onto surfaces. Even in the water, there's little bubbles. It's the level of care and attention to detail has been put in is just quite simply extraordinary. It is a magnificent feat. This is exactly why stop motion should never die, because there's a level of craft and a unique handmade feel to it that really you can only get from a stop motion, and you could argue you get this from a 2D animated film, but definitely even more so with stop motion. And it's not just a gorgeous looking film, it is a really heartfelt film as well. I actually felt some tears forming at a couple points in this film. It hit. And as well as being an emotional one, it's also very funny. It's got real genuine heart to it. And it's in this heartfelt tone that you can really feel Guillermo del Toro's passion for this film coming through. Because, let's be real, can you really say that about that recent live-action atrocity Disney put out? No, you can't. But with this, you can. It's heartfelt and wonderful to look at. It's also got a top cast of actors doing very good work. For example, we've got David Bradley as Geppetto, and I really like this sort of reclusive alcoholic feel to his performance, and he's very gruff delivery to all of his lines, and but beneath all that, he's got a a real soft, good heart, and and but then is a real love for Pinocchio, and David Bradley conveys that all perfectly. And as Pinocchio, we've got young actor Gregory Mann. I don't think I've seen this kid in anything. This must be a debut role, if not an early career role. But he's really, really good here. He gets down perfectly Pinocchio's sort of cheeky, mischievous personality, but beneath all that, he is really good-hearted, and that balance just fits so well, and Gregory Mann sells it really well. He also provides the voice of Geppetto's real son, Carlo, in the opening scenes of the film, and these scenes were really tenderly crafted and perfectly set the stage. Of course, these early scenes are also overseen by Ewan McGregor as Sebastian J. Cricket, and I really liked his character. He's sort of like the narrator of the film, much like the Cricket was in the Disney version. But this film does it better because Ewan McGregor is so good here. He's really, really funny, but he's also very eloquent, and and his goal is to give his best, because that's the best you can do, and I really like seeing his flawed and sometimes failed attempts to guide Pinocchio in the right direction. It's a really compelling narration. We've also got a really, really delightfully conniving, scheming villain in Count Volpe, voiced by Christoph Waltz. He's so much fun. He's a really delightfully hissable villain. On the other side of villain things, we've got Ron Perlman as a fascist official who rules his son with a stern authority. And it's Ron Perlman, he does that really well. And speaking of his son, Finn Wolfhard voices his son Candlewick, and there's a really lovely strand involving a growing friendship between him and Pinocchio, and I loved how the film paid it off. As Candlewick gets increasingly tired and frustrated of his futile attempts to gain his father's love. And we've also got some surprisingly strong supporting work as well. We've got Kate Blanchett voicing a monkey. We've got Tim Blake Nelson as a flock of black rabbits, and perhaps most notably, we've got Tilda Swinton as the voice of the Wood Sprite, the film's version of the Blue Fairy, and also Death. And it's a Tilda Swinton performance, so she brings this real magical, otherworldly charm to it. It's just absolutely mesmerizing. And beneath all the humor, the tragedy, and the strong character work, there's also some surprisingly strong deviations from the source material, which delivered in a way that only Guillermo del Toro can, and it works so well. The first of these I won't get into because it connects directly to Pinocchio's character, but it does create some really compelling moral dilemmas and emotional payoffs later on in the film, so you'll know when you see it. But the one that I really want to get into, it was very interesting, is how the story is tied to the rise of fascism in Italy, the reign of Mussolini. Yeah, Mussolini is an actual character in this film, and and it works surprisingly well, actually, because it works sort of as this like allegory of like, yeah, right. So early on in the film, Geppetto tells this story of this like fable of how of how a lie is like a growing nose, and which is a literal tie to the Pinocchio story, and a big growing nose, and and lies are visible to everyone but the teller of the lie. And the way I see it is that's an allegory for how fascism works. The dictators peddle these lies, and the people eat it up, but it's still visible as mistruth and misinformation to the people who are blindly following it, and it's visible to everyone but the fascist dictator peddling these lies. That was really long-winded, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Oh yeah, and the film's also got some musical numbers as well, and they're fun. Some of them are a bit more tragic, and and they've got lyrics that Guillermo del Toro himself actually contributed to. So it never actually feels out of place with the story. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This is absolutely one of the best films of the year. You might have noticed I've not mentioned any negatives. Yep, that's right. I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10. I fucking love this film. This is in my top 3 of the year. So yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio? What do you think of it? Have you seen the atrocious live-action Disney version? And what did you think of this one in comparison to that? And do you love stop-motion films? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.